If nobody has a gun, there's no danger.
In politics, the abusive behavior of your opponent can sometimes become a powerful ally and a golden opportunity. This is how it looked when New Hampshire Democrats tried to use the legislative process to abuse citizens' rights.
And of course the room is getting even more packed. Almost all these people probably here in opposition to the bill.
It was early 2008, and State Rep Eleanor Shellman was moving to ban firearms in the State House. Gun owners overflowed the hearing. It had to be moved to the largest chamber in the building, and Shellman ended up out of office. The bill failed by a vote of roughly 300 to 20. So almost 2 years later, Democrats decided to quietly make a rule without going through the normal bill-making process. If the first 24 hours of reaction are any indication, that move appears to be enraging New Hampshireites twice as much as the Shellman bill did. On December 21st, word began spreading like wildfire that a House committee had just voted to impose the rule. The folks over at Citizens for Sensible Legislation, a liberty-oriented Republican group, write this in a news release. Quote, "In a surprise action today, a cadre of anti-liberty lawmakers in Concord acted behind closed doors to ban guns at the State House, the Legislative Office Building, the Upham Walker House, the legislative parking garages and lots, and any other facility the legislature controls. In a partisan 8-3 vote, Progressive Democrats, sitting on the Joint Committee on Legislative Facilities, today used a policy-making authority for legislative buildings to impose their out-of-touch and unconstitutional agenda on citizens, lawmakers, and state office workers who would want to protect themselves," unquote. Well, here are some things you can do to help. First, I need pictures of all the men and women who voted in favor of this rule. Post them on the nhfair.com site and or send me the links. Then I and others can broadcast those pictures and urge our videographers to be on the lookout for these folks. When you see any of them on January 6th at the State House, you can interview them and make them YouTube stars. January 6th is, I believe, the first day the House is back in session. There's also an online petition which apparently on its first day already had 34 signatures. See the video description for a link. Also there you'll find a list of contact info for the perps. You can call them to complain. Again, see the video description for a link. By the way, here's a thought, an excerpt. Article 8 of the New Hampshire Constitution says, quote, "Government, therefore, should be open, accessible, accountable, and responsive. To that end, the public's right of access to governmental proceedings and records shall not be unreasonably restricted," unquote. All these authoritarians swore an oath to that Constitution, and this is a chance to rev up the public, build up our numbers, and help get them back into the private sector. You say you don't like big government, but how much are you feeding it? Much. Would you like to lawfully limit the bite it takes from your paycheck? Yes. Head over to Beverly.com. Not only are they a great New England tax and financial firm, they're also the reason you're seeing an increase in Ridley-O production. I like Ridley-O. Give them a look at Beverly.com.